You see it before they speak. A flicker, a shift, something most people completely miss. You never miss it, and you would give anything to. It did not start as a gift. It started as a feeling. A wrong feeling you could not explain. Your friend smiles at you warmly, but something inside you recoils instantly. Not fear, not anxiety, something older than both. You notice his left shoulder pulls inward. His blink rate just doubled suddenly. His laugh arrives half a beat late. You have read about this before. Paul Ekman spent decades proving it. The human face cannot fully lie. Emotions flash before the mask appears. 1/25th of a second. Faster than any conscious thought. Faster than any trained deception. Your brain has started catching them, all of them, every single one. You did not ask for this. You did not want this. But now you cannot turn it off. Your friend is hiding something enormous. You feel it in your entire body. You smile back anyway. You say nothing. You wait. 4 days later, the truth surfaces. He had been lying for 2 months. Not small lies. The kind that rewrite everything. And the worst part hits you hard. You already knew. Your body had filed the full report. You just had not trusted it yet. That was the last time. The very last time. But that was not the worst part. The worst part was what came next. You start paying attention differently now. Not paranoid. Not suspicious. Just awake. Every room you walk into shifts. Every face becomes readable. Your coworker congratulates you publicly today. Big smile, loud words, strong eye contact. But her jaw is slightly tight. Her hands are clasped too firmly. That compliment lasted 3 beats too long. You recognize it immediately. Envy wearing a professional costume. You say nothing. You watch. 1 week later, she volunteers to help. Then quietly undermines everything from inside. Exactly what her body already told you. Your manager calls you in next. Relaxed posture, casual tone, open hands. He says your future looks incredibly bright, but his feet are aimed at the door. Body language researchers call this intention leakage. Your feet point where your mind goes. He lets you go 4 days later. His words never once warned you. His body had been screaming for weeks. This is what nobody ever teaches you. Words are the most edited thing humans produce. They go through filters, through fear, through strategy, but the body runs below conscious control, always, every second, without permission. Over 65% of all communication is nonverbal. Words matter far less than you think. The spoken part is almost irrelevant, almost. Because here is where everything gets darker. Some people have learned to control the body too. And those people are the most dangerous ones alive. But you are not ready for that yet. You meet him at a casual gathering. His name does not matter. What matters is how perfectly calibrated he is. Confident, warm, magnetic, completely intentional, every gesture placed with surgical precision, every pause timed exactly right, eye contact held at the perfect duration, not too long, not too short. His smile reaches his eyes every time, which almost never happens with performed warmth, almost. The Duchenne smile uses 2 specific muscles. You can fake the mouth easily. The eye muscle is nearly impossible to fake. He has trained himself to fake it. You catch it once, 1/4 of a second. A flat blank reset between 2 expressions, like a screen flickering between 2 images. Nobody else in that room sees it. You do. And it tells you absolutely everything. He is performing humanity, not living it. 3 weeks later, you find out. He had defrauded 2 people you know. People who saw the warmth and the eye contact. People who felt the charm and missed the flicker. Harvard psychologist Martha Stout confirmed this pattern. 1 in 25 people feels no empathy. They do not look like monsters. They look exactly like him. They look like someone you already trust. And that thought does not leave you, because if he fooled nearly everyone around him, how many others have already fooled you? That question breaks something open inside you, and what you find underneath terrifies you completely. You start scanning backwards through your entire life. Every major relationship, every trusted person. You find patterns you had buried deep. The relative who always offered help loudly, but every gesture came with invisible strings attached, a favor given, a debt created silently. You felt it as a child, that slight discomfort after every kind moment. You called it your own anxiety back then. It was not anxiety, it was accurate perception. Gavin de Becker calls this the gift of fear. Your fear response is not irrational noise, it is ancient pattern recognition running constantly. The problem is life teaches you to mute it. Be polite, give people the benefit, do not assume. So you override the signal every time. You smile at the person who unsettles you. You trust the manager whose feet face away. You believe the friend whose blink rate doubled. Then you call yourself naive afterwards. You are not naive. You were taught to distrust your own perception. That is the real manipulation. Not the lies they told you. The lie you told yourself after, that you were wrong to feel it, you were never wrong, not once. And every time you silenced that signal, someone walked straight through the silence. But knowing this does not make it easier. It makes it so much harder. Because now you cannot stop seeing it, in everyone, including the people you love most. And that is where it gets unbearable. Here is what you do now. First, establish a baseline for every person. How do they normally sit, stand, breathe, respond? Deviation from their baseline is the only signal that matters. Not nervousness in general, not crossed arms or blinking. Deviation from their normal. That is where the truth lives. Second, watch for clusters, not single signals. One signal means almost nothing. 3 signals together mean everything. Tight jaw plus late laugh plus pulled shoulder. That is not coincidence. That is a confession happening in real time. Third, track timing, not just content. Deceptive answers arrive slightly slower than honest ones. The brain needs extra seconds to build a lie. That half-second pause before they answer you. That is the mind selecting a version of events. Fourth, notice what they do not say. Honest people answer questions directly and simply. Deceptive people answer beside the question. They respond without actually responding. You have seen this your entire life. Fifth, and most important of everything, trust your body before your brain catches up. Before you have consciously processed anything at all, your stomach has already filed its report. Dan Ariely's research confirmed this completely. Instinct reads social situations more accurately than analysis. Overthinking reduces your accuracy significantly every time. Your first read is almost always your truest read. The question is whether you trust it enough. Most people do not. And that gap, that exact gap, is where every betrayal in your life lived. But here is what nobody tells you about this gift. Seeing this clearly is the loneliest thing imaginable. Not because everyone around you is evil, they are not. Most people hide intentions out of pure fear. Fear of rejection, fear of being seen, fear of loss. The friend who pulled away without explanation, not cruelty. Someone who never learned how to stay. The colleague who took credit for your work, not a villain. A person drowning quietly in insecurity. When you see this level of clearly, anger starts dissolving on its own. Not because the behavior was acceptable, it never was, but because you see the human underneath it. And that understanding ends the confusion that used to consume you. You stop asking, why did they do this? You start seeing they did this because of them. That shift rewires everything you thought you knew. You stop collecting wounds. You start collecting information. You stop being shocked by betrayal. You start seeing it before it arrives. And here is the part that disturbs you most. You realize you have always had this ability. Every single gut feeling you ever ignored, every discomfort you called anxiety, every warning you buried under politeness. It was all accurate, all of it, every time. You were never bad at reading people. You were just trained to distrust what you read. And now you cannot go back. You cannot unsee any of it. You are not learning to read people. You are learning how many lies have always surrounded you. And you cannot unlearn that, ever. If that truth just changed something in you, subscribe. Because Nero goes even deeper next time.